Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be talking about tips and tricks for fluency, or a speaking test in particular. That's right, I'd like you to try this speaking test today alone at home in front of your computer. This is a test that's designed to ascertain or to help you to determine what your student's speaking level is. So your teacher or tutor could put you in a level or a speaking class. But remember, this test is just for your speaking level. It's not to assess your writing or your reading skills. So the questions will start today in a very easy manner, and then we'll go down to the more difficult to answer questions. So as you go along, the questions become more and more difficult. Okay, so you will be able to find what level of CEF you are. If you've got a tutor or teacher to help you or to guide you, your tutor already knows what level you might be before she or he tries out this test. Now, I usually try this test out with all my students, irrespective of what they think their level is. A lot of the time we think we're a higher level or a lower level than we really are. And then your teacher tries this test with you and tells you, hey, this is your real level. So you can do it alone, or you can do this test with a teacher. Now, I will be asking you a few questions, and I'll start with the easy ones and we'll go down to the more difficult questions in the test. Now, if you are able to answer the questions with confidence and accuracy, I want you to move on smoothly to the next question that I'll ask you. Okay, your current level should more or less correspond to where you start to feel the questions are very difficult to answer. Okay, so when you start to struggle, that is your level. Okay, try to answer the questions naturally, as though you are having a discussion or a conversation. Okay, so that's important. Always think of the language criteria that we spoke about in our previous videos, or my other videos, when we always talk about language skills and grammar skills. Think about your lexical range, think about your grammar accuracy and range, think about cohesion, and are you making sense as you go along? Are you clear? Think about intonation and pronunciation. Think about all of these things. Okay, now don't spend too long thinking about a particular question, but I want you to pause the recording or pause this video after each question that I ask you. That will give you a lot of time to answer the questions comfortably. Are you ready to answer the first group of questions? Right, the first group of questions are in the beginner elementary category, A1 or A2. Listen to the questions, answer them, and afterwards think about how you feel or you felt about answering each one. How are you? What's your name? Where are you from? What's the weather like today? What time is it? What do you do? What do you do in your free time? Why do you need English? What did you eat yesterday? And that's it for beginner elementary A1 to A2. How did you feel answering those questions? Did you feel comfortable? Did you answer them very comfortably? Or did you struggle along the way? Did you remember to use frequent structures that are different? Did you not repeat yourself? Did you use antonyms and synonyms? Did you use a variety of words? Now let's move on to the second batch, that's pre-intermediate, levels A2 to B1. When did you start learning English? Why are you learning English? Describe one of your friends. Have you been to England or Malta? When did you go? What did you do there? Did you like the food there? What's the food like in your country? Now we move on to the next batch of questions. These are intermediate, B1, B2. Do you eat out much or do you prefer to eat in? Why? How do you normally get around your hometown or city? What's the transport system like where you live? How could it be improved in the future? What is there for tourists to do in your country? What do you do to stay healthy? What do you think is more important, exercise or a healthy diet? If you had more free time, what would you do? So those are the intermediate questions. How did you feel? Now we move on to the last part of today's test. These are the most challenging questions, upper intermediate to advanced, B2, C1. Have you seen any good films recently? What happened? Has your taste in films changed since you were younger? How? What environmental problems are there in your country? What do you think your government should do about them? Do you follow the news? Which news story has been in the papers a lot recently? What happened? All right then, those are the upper intermediate advanced questions. And that brings us to the end of our test. Now you should have more or less a clearer indication of what your CEF speaking level is. Did you feel comfortable at a certain point, but did you stop feeling comfortable at another point? Did you feel you were struggling to speak at a certain level? Do you remember which level it was? Do you think you used accurate grammar and the right vocabulary or lexicon throughout? Were you clear? Were you cohesive, or were your sentences linked together with linking words? How was your pronunciation and intonation? If you want to know more about how to assess your speaking levels or any other level, then a good tutor will be able to help you along the way to find your areas of weakness and your strengths and work on the two. So thank you for joining me in today's lesson for tips and tricks on learning English, and don't forget to join me next time. If you like this video lesson, then like it or share it among your friends who are learning English. And see you next time.